Somebody string me up naked.
I think that was supposed to be the punishment. Surprise, it is now nighttime.
Part 2. Is it part 2? Where did we end off?
I don't know. I don't remember. And I don't know if I was going anywhere, but I've got another segue. Are you ready for this? Hobbies. Wow, that was...
Hobways.
Whenever I hear segue, here's a segue to our sponsor, D-Brand.
No.
You combined hobbies and segue together.
I did. I said hobways. Hobbies. Okay, let's talk about hobbies. But I'm going to share some of mine, okay? First of all.
Do it.
Going into the mountains to catch lizards.
Okay.
Yeah?
That sounds... I used to catch
I did
lizards
that.
at the time. Lizards as a kid all the time.
So then we would catch these lizards. We'd put them in a fish tank. Obviously, we didn't fill it up with water. And we put some sand in there and we took care of them for a while. And then we bred them.
Okay, but you've... Making lizards have sex is a little...
No, I didn't make them. They chose to do it themselves.
Oh, I feel like you were encouraging them.
There were
KT.
male and female ones in there. There were eggs. And then
Baby lizards came?
After like 4 years of finally trying to figure it out, we finally got them to have some little baby
Little
lizards.
incubator on them.
Yeah. We had a nice heating pad and we went and bought some crickets and things like that. 1 year, they dried out because like we touched them and we left them above the sand. The next year, we left crickets in the cage and then the crickets ate the eggs. And like the third year, I don't remember, something else went wrong. But like the fourth year, we finally had some little baby lizards.
Same lizards the entire time?
No.
No, the first one's dried out.
No.
The eggs
the first
did.
eggs dried out. No, what we would do is we'd go and catch these lizards and we keep them for a while and then we would go and release them, and let them do whatever they want to do.
Did you ever catch the horned toads?
No, those are cool though.
Dude, I love we just called them horny toads.
Horny toads. Yeah, no, these were like the standard blue belly stripes.
Yeah.
I forget what they're actually called. They're like, I don't know.
I don't know. They're just lizards.
That's
They're cool.
something I
I always
did.
like lizards too.
I always had these like 4-month hobbies where I would do these hobbies and mess around with them for like 4 months. Then I'd move on to the next thing. And like, that was one of my hobbies. Also like mountain biking and like dirt jumps and stuff like that was another thing.
Really?
I did a lot of like rollerblading. I still actually do a lot of rollerblading. I like to go to the skate park and like, grind
You're
on the
actually
rails and
really
stuff like that.
decent at rollerblading.
I'm really good.
And you got really deep into the technical side of it with YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, I did watch a lot of rollerblading content. Yeah. I really like rollerblading a lot, or aggressive skating where you go to skate parks and stuff like that. So that's really fun. I mean, I'm better than most people are at rollerblading, but that's not like most people don't actually rollerblade. But if you ever see me at like a roller rink, I'm always the guy that's like doing the spins and the swirls and all sorts of fun
I
stuff.
can vouch.
Like that.
I've went to a roller rink with
Oh,
KT.
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And
Me and Michelle were just chilling, skating. KT's over there doing his stuff.
Spinning
what
around.
was the occasion?
We were in Vegas.
It was Vegas, yeah.
And
yeah.
I live close to Vegas. And so, like, I drove down. Everybody else flew there. You were there, and you chose to go and record something instead. And I was like, hey, does anybody want to go rollerblading? And Lex was like, I've got nothing better to do. I guess you can take me rollerblading.
I guess I'll go do it.
What was a recording that was more important than rollerblading?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you're an important guy.
Oh, man. I would have came. So exciting.
What did you guys like to do? I just like swimming. Swimming's fun.
I swimmed a lot in high school just for laps. I got into snowboarding.
Ooh, I did a
later
lot of
on.
snowboarding and
Yeah.
skiing.
And then after snowboarding and I got bored of that, then I started skiing so I could go faster. And that was fun. But then once I got bored of going really fast down blacks, then I just started doing stupid stuff at the park and the really big jumps. But now that I'm 33, I'm scared of breaking my neck.
Dude, for real though, I get that.
Yeah.
I really get that a lot. I did a lot of skiing and snowboarding. I wanted to do snowboarding, but my mom wouldn't let me unless I took lessons on skiing. Sorry, my mom was a big skier when she was younger, and she didn't want me to go snowboarding. She wanted me to go skiing, right? So I went and I go skiing, and then I was like, can I go snowboarding? She's like, okay, sounds good. Well, first time I go snowboarding, I break my arm.
The first time.
The first time I go snowboarding. Nice. So then she was like, okay, you have to go back to skiing. And if you want to go snowboarding again, you have to take snowboarding lessons. So I took snowboarding lessons, then I went back to snowboarding. But I also like skiing as well. So I've done a fair bit of skiing and a fair bit of snowboarding.
I had no
It's a
idea
lot
you
of
could
fun.
do both. Wow.
Yeah. I actually am pretty good on like balance stuff. I had my balance tested when I was in physical therapy school. And I have like an unnatural high amount of balance. So like skiing, snowboarding, I did a lot of gymnastics as a kid. I was my high school mascot. And so like,
Really?
yeah. So I was like,
who was the mascot?
we were the Rams and I was Ram Man.
Ram Man.
I was Ram Man.
It's a very
yeah.
it's a rather unoriginal, but I like it.
So
kind of
yeah,
thing.
I was Ram Man. So rather than being in like one of those big, huge, fuzzy costumes, they put like a black cape on me and I wore horns. And like I went and I did flips with the cheerleaders and stuff like that. And
That
like
explains when you're doing flips in the backyard with Ray earlier.
I did
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So I did that and had fun with it. And I also play the piano. I actually don't play the piano anymore, but I like played a lot of piano. My mom had me do piano lessons when I was younger. So I did that. A lot of singing. I did drama. I went and did musicals. And I've done a lot of random stuff. So those are my hobbies.
What about you, Lex?
What about you, Lex?
Uh,
Lex did baseball.
yeah, definitely sports growing up.
And we did talk a lot about
Like
sports over on Lex's
baseball.
podcast.
I played extensively. I also was like a starter on the varsity football team as well.
Really?
Yeah, but not intentionally. I was just playing baseball, and so our kicker was so bad on the football team that they had an open school tryout that I didn't even want to try out.
Yeah.
I was literally walking back from lunch into the school, and they're like, "Hey, John, you want to try out?" I'm like, "Nah." They're like, "Just come kick the ball." And so I've always had very strong legs because I ran a lot.
Yeah.
Playing baseball, and as a pitcher, you have to have strong legs to throw good.
Oh, really?
And so I kicked the ball, I punted the ball once, and they're like, "Do you want to be on the team?" I'm like, "I guess." That night I was starting on the varsity squad.
That night on the varsity?
Yeah, because I was averaging like 42 yards per punt.
Dang.
And like I'd never really, I just could, and I ended up being the place kicker as well.
Dang.
But I always liked baseball better. Other than that, like woodworking. A lot of
Yeah.
woodworking.
Yeah. Lex is talented with it.
But I also like in my spare time, I'm working on my car. I like, I have an old Mustang, and so I like working on that. It's a lot of fun.
Did you guys just have like a group of friends that you just go and play video games with when you were younger?
No.
I mean, Lex
didn't.
only had the Atari.
No, I pretty much had every gaming console you could think of growing up because my grandma. Usually, I got them like.
Well, there weren't a lot of gaming consoles like right then, right?
No, yeah,
You had the Atari and what else?
the Atari, the original Nintendo
Okay,
64,
okay.
Sega,
Oh,
Sega
yeah,
Genesis.
Okay, I take that back. I'm
PlayStation,
sorry.
like all of them.
I was
But I usually
trying to land
a
a funny joke and it
I
wasn't
usually
working.
got them like 2 years late
Yeah.
because I couldn't get them new, and so my grandma usually would buy them, but they'd just be older.
So you didn't actually play with your friends very much video games?
No. I like my brother. I played some with him, but he wasn't into video games as much as me. So it was mainly just me sitting in my room playing Echo the Dolphin on Sega Genesis, which was a very hard game, by the way. I never beat Echo the Dolphin.
Games were harder.
I liked Duck Hunt a lot.
Duck Hunt was
the
fun.
original one. But see, the thing with Duck Hunt, and I know you did. I know you did it.
The TV in front.
Yeah. So like you're shooting. If you miss, you just walk straight up and you put the gun right at the TV.
Yeah.
Boom, and you can't miss. And then that dog, because if you do, the dog goes like, laughing
Oh,
at
that
you,
little
like, I
shit.
hate you.
Yeah, I hate that dipshit dog.
Yeah.
But usually anything that involved like working with my hands,
Yeah.
I enjoyed.
I wonder
Also
if,
making babies. It's a good hobby.
I wonder our childhood with games is different than most people's now. Like teenagers now is video gaming like it was when we were teenagers. Like I would just go to a friend's house and we would play together on
Now
their
they
console.
got it all online now.
And now it's all online. And my thought is like,
It's
is
different.
it different? Is
But
it?
It hits
it is
different. It hits
because
different.
even this podcast feels different if we voice call on Discord versus being in person.
Yeah.
It does.
It's not as much as a bonding moment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of weird to think about how a lot of relationships are online. And like, I don't know, like Lex, you and I, our relationship was completely online for a year.
Yeah, until we went to Finland for the filming of the Brawl Stars global launch event,
Yeah.
like 8 months before
Like-
it actually happened.
In person, like you and I, we had been friends for like a year. And then I met you the same time I met OJ. And I don't think I'd ever had a conversation with OJ online, right?
I don't think
I don't think we
There's a
talked about it
chance.
before. No, there wasn't a chance.
nothing just ever met
I
up.
was too small.
I didn't even go to any I was never invited to any meetings or anything.
Oh, yeah. It was kind of like a Clash with Ash thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should talk about YouTube because like it was an interesting thing for us, at least Lex and I were a lot in the same boat. And we didn't even really talk about this on Lex's podcast either. We started creating content on Brawl Stars when it first went into beta. And and we just kind of slowly grew. And I remember when we did go to that first stream for the Brawl Stars global launch and we met all these big YouTubers, our minds were like blown.
Oh yeah, big time.
Because we were just like dinking around, having fun, making videos.
I had 15,000 subscribers at the time.
Yeah. Like, and honestly, it was pretty impressive for how small Brawl Stars' audience was. Like 15,000 was a decent amount, right?
Well, probably about 1,000 of those were from Clash Royale before.
Yeah. And then we go to this event, and I think I almost didn't even get invited. You first got invited, and you were with a bunch of other people. And then I made a post on Reddit specifically talking about all the issues that was going on with Brawl Stars at the time.
I think I saw that post.
It was a massive post. It got a ton of feedback and traction. And then I also like encouraged the community to like just give Brawl Stars like some time, the developers, to like do it. And I think that really resonated because a lot of people started sharing it. That was when I got invited after that post. And I was able to go into this chat and I could see all the conversations that had happened. And you guys have been discussing things for like weeks. And so I got invited, I think, as like an afterthought almost. And it's funny to think that like that post that I made kind of changed my life in a big way. I could be wrong. Maybe they were already considering inviting me, right? Because I don't know. But then we went to go and meet these content creators. And that was the first time that we realized that you can actually make money on YouTube and that you could like make a living off of it. I remember specifically Clash with Ash was very willing to just like tell me about how he made money. And we actually had a conversation with him.
I remember sitting down with him and as well as with Molt.
Yeah, and Molt was good.
They were pretty open about it. And I was like, no.
We just didn't
this
understand.
isn't real, right?
We didn't understand how people made money, and we didn't understand that like sponsors were as impactful as they were. And we thought that people were just making money off of ad revenue and that that's all it was.
Yeah, I never really thought about the sponsors before that. I thought it was literally just ad revenue.
Well, and we never knew what the sponsorship payment is. I think we mentioned in a previous podcast that like sometimes you could get a sponsorship that was going to pay you just as much as if not more than an entire month's worth of ad revenue on your videos.
Yeah. So for 60 seconds on a video that somebody has to watch or skip,
yeah,
it literally will pay us as much as an entire month's worth of work.
Basically, yeah, which
is kind of crazy.
It's crazy, and it makes it viable. It's the reason why
Right.
we're even able to be right here, because we're here on this on this podcast because we're shooting something else for a sponsor, right? And it allows us to be able to create this content, even though OJ, you're making no money on this video.
I
right?
lose money on this podcast
You
channel.
do, yeah,
because it's just fun to be here for these things.
it is.
And on the note of the sponsors, I think we already mentioned it before, but you're supporting 16 people. You said 15, but you didn't include Dex last time. So I had to clarify. You're supporting 16 people, and those sponsors help you support everything from the back end of everything that helps us fuel the quality of the content that we do. There's no way you'd be able to post that many quality videos on both of your channels without everyone behind us for support.
Yeah.
Not just our employees and
But
like
their
editors
families.
and their families, and like with Tribe facilitating all these sponsorships and everything and helping the meetings and the back end deals for everything to make sure that everyone is happy. The clients are getting what they want and that we're able to deliver all of that stuff.
I'll even take it one step further, OJ. If it weren't for sponsors,
Our channels wouldn't exist anymore.
our channels probably would not exist. I mean, they may exist. I could not do this as a full-time job without sponsors.
We might do it like as a hobby, but I'll tell you what, like I learned more about YouTube in the first 4 months of me being full time than the first 3 years of me just making videos when I had time to do it, you know? And so like the types of videos that we're able to release now are because of sponsors making it to work out for us. And so, I mean, the reason why we're talking about this now is because having those conversations with those YouTubers when we didn't know what we were doing was so eye-opening for us. I left that trip just being like my motivation to continue my doctorate program, just it was like a switch flip for me. And I was like, it was no longer about it just being a hobby and just being fun. And it was more about like, how can I make this my life? Because I wanted it so bad. And I knew that it could be, my eyes open up to the possibility of being able to chase something more than what I was doing, which, I mean, I was already doing something pretty hard, you know, doing my doctorate program was very stressful. It was a really competitive program. And I was learning a lot We did dissections of actual cadavers. which
I
was
also think that
interesting.
people don't realize just how much work it is. How on if you had to guess, KT, on average, how much do you work per week? How many hours a week do you work?
Well, the first year of being full time, it was 100 hours a week for the first full year. Like maybe a little bit less every now and then, but that was what it was. It's not that now because now I'm able to have editors and stuff like that. Now I'm up to 60 hours a week, which is more than most people work.
Oh yeah,
But I will say it's really fun. I really enjoy what I get to do.
it's true, but
Not always. Sometimes there are a little bit.
The
some
reason I
slumps.
bring that up is because people, I see a lot of times like younger creators or people that are wanting to, or according to them wanting to get into it.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, how do I make it big? Or I'll see people may say like, I've posted a few videos and I'm not getting any views. This sucks. I'm out. And you have to, and they don't have that. The people that make it, like, you guys and everything, like,
It's a grind. It's competitive.
It's just a sheer determination of will.
Yeah.
Just, just
You have to be willing
determination.
to work hard so that when you get that break, you're ready for it.
You have to be, Justin said this to me when we were in San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
That you have to be willing, you have to be okay with being miserable in the short term to be able to have success in the long term.
And that short term feels like it's not very short.
No,
it
yeah.
feels like a long time. Or you just have to really enjoy it, which I feel like was a big thing
Well,
for
both
us.
can be true at the same time.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
There's times where I don't enjoy having to work 16 hours a day.
Yeah, sometimes it's really stressful. Like sponsors are really great, but also it does apply the pressure because sponsors want their stuff out by a specific time and we have to create videos for that. So sometimes I'm like, I have to come up with a good video because I don't want to just throw something out there. It has to be a good video. And sometimes it's stressful to be like, I have to make a great video for this sponsor to go out by this specific time. And that is
This
stressful.
is like a full work day too. If you
more than
if
a
you
full
think,
work day.
Oh yeah, we all woke up between 8 and 10 a.m. today and just started working as soon as we woke up to make sure our channels were ready. And then we had to film. And in between us filming, we were doing the podcast. And then we had to pause the podcast, help Ray with the sponsorship. And then
In between that, we're filming with Ben as well,
Ben's
and then Ray's
literally
doing
in the
stuff,
background right now,
working
with,
right now.
Yeah, us being able to just sit here and talk right now on the podcast is almost the most
Either that or
relaxing
he's looking
part.
at Twitter. We're not sure.
This is
And we're still
technically-
working.
This is technically work.
We're
but
still working.
I enjoy it. It's just hanging out with you guys.
It is fun.
I wanted to go on the point with how Tribe helps with everything in the back end.
Yeah.
To tie back into that.
Yeah.
Was I really appreciate how Tribe. Oh, Tribe's great. 'cause
He's
I'm a
now the co-owner.
Because I'm a co-owner.
Now he's-
and Tribe
now
is
he's-
so great. I love Tribe.
Let me say it for you then. So what happened was we finally made the jump to full time, and Tribe reached out, and it was interesting because Tribe first reached out. They were just an esports organization at first, and so we were like, okay, cool. We'll put your logo on our stuff. It's kind of cool and fine and whatever. But eventually, Tribe started being that company that actually handled sponsorships for us and brand deals. And now, if any company wants to actually work with us, they go to Tribe, and Tribe also goes to other companies to try and get them to work with us. And it's awesome because I don't have to worry about billing companies. And I don't have to worry about reaching out or reading emails.
Sorting through the crap offers.
That's,
The good
that's
ones.
what I wanted to go off on.
Tribe is
with
amazing.
Why?
Period.
Why Molt and Clash with Ash was so open about it is like we
Yes.
just wanted to educate you guys on what the industry looked like. The very first deal I took, it would be the equivalent of taking $1 to work a full day shift, and I said yes to that deal.
Yeah, because you're like so excited to have a sponsor, but you don't know what your value is yet.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Tribe protects both parties by ensuring that everyone's getting
Yeah.
the
The
fair.
sponsor gets something high quality, and then also the content creator gets what is equal.
Well,
and
this
fair.
is kind of a fun spin-off of that. OJ, for all of us. OJ, who was your very first sponsorship that you ever got? Who was it?
It was some pirate game.
A pirate? Yar, matey, we be doing the pirates over here.
Yeah.
It was
Like that kind of pirate game?
I don't remember what it was exactly, but it was some sort of pirate game.
Mine was it was like an app, Amino. Is that the Amino?
Oh, that does sound familiar to me.
Amiibo?
No, I think it's like I forget exactly the name. Anyways, I remember they offered me $200 to do an integration, and I was like, $200? Is this real? That much? I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll totally do that. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
$200. In today's terms, that's not that would be not very much.
It's not worth it.
but because just the amount of the time that it would take. But at the time, I was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
And I did that. And they loved it so much that they came back for another. I'm like, let's go again. Let's do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember the name of the one that I did. It was some mobile MOBA, kind of like Brawl Stars, when Brawl Stars was still in beta. And I had actually, what I had done is once I got the offer, they said how much, and I went to Clash with Ash because he had been willing to talk with me about money and finance. I'm like, what should I do? And he was like, do 1,000. And I was like, okay. I didn't think it was worth 1,000 at the time. I was only getting like 10,000 views per video, and this was a dedicated video, so it was like the full video was just this thing. Yeah. So that's more than 200, which would be like a 30 to 60 second integration rate. And so I pitched them in 1,000 for 10,000 views, and they took it. And nice. It was like, but that was because I had somebody that I could talk to. The thing is, most content creators,
I didn't have that.
When you very first start out, you have no idea what your value is.
Because that's like. Because I was working my normal job then, and that basically would be an entirely full day's work for me to make that much money. And I'm like, I can do that just by putting this little ad on there. Yeah,
everyone watching is pulling out their calculator. Kairos said 10,000, so he makes 1 million views. 1,000 times 100, he makes $100,000.
Yeah, no, it doesn't scale.
It doesn't work that way.
No, in a sense, smaller creators earn more per view because their audiences are a little bit more like really dedicated.
Hardcore.
They're more hardcore, exactly.
Close.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't quite scale up like that. I'm not making. I wish
that would
be nice.
Yeah.
But also it was a dedicated video, which those always. I don't like doing dedicated videos on my channel anymore because they just do very badly unless the game's really good. Like
I'll still do them. I got kids to feed, man. So
you've got 8 kids to feed.
I've just done some that like I just wasn't proud of it. Like I would do the video and then I would put it out and I was just like, and I just read the comments and it just like weighs on me a little bit much. I understand what you're saying though. Like we do need to make money.
As long as it was,
and I think people are good.
As long as it wasn't a bad game,
see, that's the thing.
I'm okay with it.
I've accidentally like agreed to stuff. Like, so now I have a rule that I do not accept anything unless I play it first.
Yeah.
And I was so excited at one point that I accepted something and I put it out there and it was just trash and I just hated it. I hated myself for it.
Yeah.
And so now I play everything first.
Yeah, that was in the beginning. You learned the first time that it was like,
yeah.
Because you see the deal and you're like, oh yeah, I could do that. That sounds easy. And then you play the game. What did I get into? We already signed a contract for this.
Yeah. And so I've learned from that. And now I don't do a dedicated video for a game unless like I actually really enjoy it. The 30 to 60 second integration or whatever, like something just put in the middle of the video, that's a little bit less because people, like you said, people can just kind of
skip past it if they don't want to see it.
We hope that they don't because it helps our video overall if you continue to watch through it. Mm-hmm. But we really understand that, you know, this is people's time.
There's quite often when I'm watching videos of people's stuff and I'm like, I'm going to skip past this one.
Yeah.
And I get it. That's fine.
I don't even know what the direction of this podcast channel is going to go into because the next episode that we're recording tomorrow is going to be about dating.
Yeah.
So if a sponsor wants to reach out and talk about Wagyu beef or anything like that, we could make a whole podcast on just...
We've
talking about meat.
We've talked about doing a podcast on meat.
We can talk about grilling meat. We can talk about beating our meat.
I am an expert on both things, OJ.
I think we both could educate Kairos on.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yes, because I was vegetarian growing up, which is funny and interesting, which we talked about that already, so we don't need to keep talking about it. I just bought a grill, and like the first thing I did was actually send you guys a message. I was like, guys, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, what do you suggest? You guys were like, here's 80-20% meat.
Here's the funny thing is that you sent that message. You probably, I'm envisioning
this was
that you
so
sent
funny.
the message, and you're like, cool, I'll just see what, and walked away. And when you come back, how many messages were there?
Oh, there was like 50 messages of you guys going back and forth.
Like, what? We're talking about grilling meat? Let's go.
The Weber grill or the other one? Like, you want infrared? Like, there's some new technology out there that just bursts the heat.
Different kinds of meat and like fat to meat ratio and like, versus 30-70%. And I was just like, whoa. I did not know that this was, and I think you guys discovered that you both really like grilling on that conversation.
No,
well.
we did.
You already know?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was right in our wheelhouse because we're both like, oh, dude, we got this. We got this. Our friend needs some help. We got this.
At one point, you guys were talking about beating meat or something like that. And
I'm not surprised.
And after 20 minutes of seeing us talk, I was like, basically me and Lex were just beating our meats off.
All of a sudden, yeah, something like that. And I came back and I'm like, this is so funny. You guys been messaging for like an hour and I come back to you guys beating to me. I was just like, okay. Told my wife, she thought that was hilarious, by the way.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
Yeah.
That's what friends do.
And honestly, I think that's what's really fun about this podcast too, or even just creating content with each other and also being part of Tribe is like just being able to talk. Like we literally had a conversation today about what would it be like if we had a content community where we like, content houses. What if we just like bought a big plot of land and we all just built our houses around and like, created content together? Maybe we don't even want to say that on this podcast because we don't want other people to steal the idea from us.
The content community is an amazing idea. Just
It's
after
awesome.
having everyone together creating content consistently like this, it's so
But
fun.
the way we talked about this compound, I kind of think of it as like more like a content cult. And I kind of, I'm kind of
We were
here
thinking
for
of
it.
like buying like acres of land and somewhere really dirt cheap so that
to
like
be fair, Mr. Beast already did that. He bought the whole street.
he did. So if we did that in like a gated community that like people are like, why is this a gated community? I don't understand.
We just
And how
buy-
did they build a gated community on the 25-acre farmland?
Yeah, we just buy 25 acres out in Podunk nowhere.
Yeah.
Throw up a gate on the front and just like, bam, you can't come in our neighborhood.
It's the only place in the whole.
This is the content cult. You're not allowed.
It's the only place in the county with fiber for some reason.
Yeah. And why does that gate look like a diamond play button?
Something like that would be really fun. It's just really fun to be able to create content doing something like that with friends. And it's really nice to also have other people that understand the types of difficulties and struggles that we also go with, because like you mentioned, it's hard. Now, I will say though, other people work harder than I do for less money. And
Oh, for sure.
I recognize that.
No, I'm not saying that the amount of work we put in is that we're not
yeah.
compensated extremely well for the amount
Yeah.
of work. I'm just saying that like there's a lot of people who aren't willing to put in
That's true.
the amount of effort that it actually takes.
And we talked about this-
And that's not just for YouTube, that's for anything in life.
Yeah.
To really achieve something big, you have to be willing to put in massive, way more effort than you probably think you need to.
And it's not like we make like a crazy amount of money. Like there's definitely a lot of people that make way more money than we do. And it's not like we live a pretty modest life, I feel like. And it's just, especially when you're having to support 18 people. I'm going to add we'll just flat 20.
Well, I wasn't including my employees in there, so I guess you could.
There you go.
You could include those. But.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just, it's nice. It's fun. And honestly, every day I'm really grateful for it.
Oh yeah,
I really
absolutely.
Didn't we talk about gratitude journals already?
Was that in this
Write it
podcast?
down in the gratitude
I think
journal.
so. We've talked a lot about stuff. Write that
Yeah.
down.
I have a gratitude journal. The Kurzgesagt one.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I like it. It's nice. It's planned and organized and helps me articulate how and why to do it. It's very structured is what I need in my life. So
Yeah.
it's quite useful.
We prefer the other
My
genitalia.
brain is still stuck on that first time I met you guys. It was so cool in Finland.
That was at a dinner. A bunch of us were like, there was like 25 of us at everybody that was in the stream. We were
Yeah.
all at dinner, and I remember, I do specifically remember that you and everybody, but I specifically remember you were very
I was expecting you to be stuck up.
outgoing.
I was expecting you to be stuck up, honestly. I thought you were going to think that you were like cooler than us or something like that.
But he was
Right?
OJ was very outgoing, and he was like genuinely interested in
Very interested.
us and what we
Wanted
got
to
going on
talk.
in us as people. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, I think that and I don't know that it's like I thought you were going to be stuck up because of your content or anything like that. But it was just that I kind of had idolized you, right? Like, let's be honest about it. I had watched all of your content, and I shaped a lot of the content that I did based off of like the stuff that I liked that you did, right?
Yeah.
And it was really like I just thought there's no way that this guy is gonna like treat me like an equal or talk to me like a regular person, because honestly, I didn't think of you as a normal person. You know what I mean?
Crazy to think about.
It's weird, and also I think that happens with us as well sometimes now too, because I have people that are like small, not necessarily smaller, but just like they're not at the level with Supercell games that we are at the moment, and when they have a conversation with us, it's just like all of a sudden it's really normal.
I did DM a Clash mini creator, and
Yeah,
he mentioned, "Oh, I'm not worthy." I'm like, "What do you mean you're not worthy? We're just homies, man.
Yeah.
If you ever need anything, just hit me up. Just don't harass me every single day and spam ping me."
Do you remember, KT, the night where me and you got to play Brawl Stars with Chief Pat for the first time? Where he invited us in to play with him.
Was it the global launch?
No. Like it was. No, he wasn't there.
He was there. He wasn't at the stream. He wasn't at the.
Yeah, no, he wasn't at the stream. It was before. It was in beta, but we played with him.
Oh, in game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we didn't meet him in person.
No, yeah.
But he was down to play Brawl Stars with us in game. We were nerding out.
No, but the thing is, when he invited us to play, we're like, oh yeah, we'll come play. It's all good. We're playing. We're acting all chill. As soon as we got done with the game, me and Kyle were next to each other. Oh my god, that was the Chief Pat. I can't believe we just played with Chief Pat.
Dude, I do remember that.
He was the first YouTuber you watched.
It was the first one I ever subscribed to.
That's what it was.
Like the first gaming YouTuber I ever subscribed to.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Chief
mine was
Pat.
Galadon. Galadon is funny because Galadon was the reason I ever got into YouTube ever because it was actually Clash of Clans. I played Clash of Clans religiously, loved it, had so much fun with it. And then they shared one of his videos in game and I was like,
Oh, what's this YouTube thing?
I never used YouTube for anything other than like searching problems for math or chemistry or whatever, college and stuff like that. And all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I'm going to subscribe to this Galadon guy. So I started watching some Clash of Clans, some Galadon, some Chief Pat. And then watched it, then when Clash Royale came out, it was so big and cool and fun and exciting. And that's when I, started watching your content and stuff like that. And
So speaking of stuff that you watch on YouTube, if you were to pull up YouTube right now, like what would be like on your homepage, your
let's
recommended
just do it
stuff?
right now.
Right now?
I'm going to do it right now.
Oh.
Very top video. Okay. Well, this is unfair because I used this last night. It was white noise, black screen.
Okay, you used a white noise thing.
Okay, there's Ray.
Still invisible. 11 brawlers that broke Brawl Stars.
Oh, that's my video right there.
Oh.
And then the next one is Linus
Wait,
Tech
did you
Tips.
just scroll past my video and didn't click it? That's my CTR is going down right now,
no.
OJ, as we speak.
I've got a Ray post. I have OJ's video. I've got a Line of Detectives video as well.
$65 idea that raised $2 million.
Oh, this is
Wait a
interesting.
second, I gotta get my phone.
I have a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but with Super Mario Bros. I've got a Mario Kart video with only 300 views being recommended to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's experimental.
That is. Then I got shorts from Mr. Beast and
I have
Ryan Trahan.
giving my Iron Chef dad Domino's pizza to make gourmet. I watch a lot of cooking on YouTube.
Oh, my very top, my very, very top. My first day as co-owner.
Yeah, that's what I had from OJ's. Yeah.
That's OJ right there.
Then I've got Creator Insider, which is a YouTube channel that pretty much just talks about features that they're doing on YouTube.
Episode 11 of Realistic Nutrition. Nutrition's also big on my algorithm right now.
But I don't watch much Brawl Stars YouTube.
Yeah.
So like I do watch like the tribe stuff and like our stuff, but not all the time. So my next one is like Hikaru. He's a chess player.
Oh.
And I got a lot of Hikaru stuff and chess stuff.
I've got the hidden truth behind our declining attention spans.
Interesting.
I like watching videos about like thinking and the way that like generations changing.
Then I got woodworking stuff on mine.
Okay. I also have like a lot
Oh,
of
Mr. Who's the Boss.
Oh
Love
yeah,
him.
he's got some good stuff. I've watched a lot of old school RuneScape content, and so there's a video.
Now I
there.
got cooking stuff as well.
Dude, I have a different channel doing Mario Party stuff with 780 views.
Mario Party stuff. Maybe you watched my Mario Party.
It really could be my kids. Honestly, they might be on there. I'm confused. And then I've got a video from Anthony Padilla. He's a guy that interviews a lot of content creators. Have you guys watched him?
I have.
I got Ludwig and car stuff.
He was, wasn't he?
Smash.
Smosh.
Smosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He originally started as Smosh and then some things happened and then he left. Now he's doing that stuff and he's able to creatively express himself again and he likes what he's doing.
Which is good.
I have my first 6 months as a doctor. I follow these really cute doctors. I don't know what it is.
OJ. Wait.
Izzy Seeley.
All right.
Okay.
So it's a cute girl.
I've got a YouTuber.
I'm very shocked you're following her.
I follow a lot of doctors.
They're just the cute ones. How many guy doctors do you follow, OJ? Exactly.
Two.
Dr. K.
Yep.
I like
Dr.
watching.
K and
His channel's Healthy Gamer
there's another dermatologist I follow.
The pimple popper.
No, I forgot what his name is.
I know I can understand people that
But
get
I
into
follow like 10 other doctors, so the ratio's 10 to 1. I don't know what it is about doctors, man. Maybe am I getting old?
OJ.
Am I finding responsibility really attractive now?
That is funny. We could talk about that. Things that as you've gotten older, you find joy in. Like, for example, I hated yard work as a kid because I had a lot of like a fairly decent size yard with a lot of weeds, and I hated it. Now that I have my house and like it's mine.
Yeah, because that's what you just said is the key. It's yours.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
you feel
And
pride in
I
it. It's more.
enjoy
It's a
keeping
pride
my
thing.
yard clean
Yeah.
and getting rid of weeds. Like when I see a weed, I'm like, I'm gonna get you, and I go and I get it, and I'm like, man, my yard's awesome.
good.
Yeah. What's something like that you've become an adult and you're like, man, I find a lot of joy out of this adult thing.
I guess even a year ago, I had to replace my floodlight outside. So I got a ring light now to replace it. It was just really satisfying installing it. Whereas before, I'd be like, ugh, my dad needs me to help him fix something. Now it's
Yeah.
like, oh, great. What can I do to improve this
Yeah.
now?
I find joy in embarrassing my kids.
Oh,
So
I live for the eye rolls too.
like I'm not kidding. Like I will tell my kids, like if I had to go to school meeting, I told my my Harper, my second youngest, that when I walked into her schoolroom for this meeting, that I was going to walk in and be like, everyone, what's happening? Let's back today for another school meeting, and today we are going to be. And she's like, Dad, don't do it. Please don't do it, Dad, come on. And when I went there, I told her that I showed up with my hat backwards, and I did that, and she's like, Dad. And I was just like, oh yes, I love embarrassing.
You
my
actually
kids.
did it. That's great.
I didn't actually do it. I just told her I did.
Oh,
But then I do love embarrassing my kids.
That's
because
funny.
I feel like that's my job as a father, is make sure that I induce as much,
I
embarrassment as
live for
possible.
those eye rolls.
Yeah,
funny.
it's good.
How about you, Ben?
Taking out the trash.
You like taking out the trash.
It's like satisfying when it's full, and then you just rolling it back up empty. Cutting the
Interesting.
grass.
Okay.
Cutting the grass is nice.
You know,
I still don't like cutting the grass.
I do like it when the weather's nice and you go out there and you're like rolling out your trash and you're just like looking around at your neighborhood.
doing
and
my
just, like,
laundry is one of my is like almost like therapeutic for me nowadays.
Really?
Like the laundry basket gets full.
No.
and then
it's
you
like-
fold it.
I
I'm not
put it
with
away and
that.
it's like, oh,
No, I have 30 pairs of underwear.
I
just
bought
so that
new-
I only have to do laundry once.
I
a
bought
month.
new socks, underwear, and shirts for this trip because I didn't want to do my laundry.
I have 40 pairs of this sock. And those are the only socks I have.
I like that you don't have to organize.
I
your
don't have to
laundry
order.
from
I
that.
have
Yeah.
a sock drawer and I just throw them in there. Actually, they're nice and
I do
folded.
like fixing things though.
Yeah, fixing things
because
is
it's a very
nice.
like
Oh.
you get to see the transformation of this thing that you fixed. It's like it's broken, it's not working, and then I'm the one who made that work.
Do you want to join us, Ben? There's a seat.
no, I'm working on a video right now.
Oh, okay.
I just want to pop
the
it.
grind life.
Ben was literally the whole time there in the corner.
But he's like,
working on the
wait, can I
video.
talk about taking out the trash? 'Cause
He's like,
really
dude, I love
I
taking out
love
the
that
trash.
trash.
I love
taking
taking out the
out the
trash.
I had to get that off my chest.
Any other questions about my life or anything like
I
that?
want to know what happened with YouTube from the moment that you decided you could quit and everything. I think we covered a little bit.
So
of that
here's what
earlier.
happened. I was going to school. I was doing my doctorate, and my interest. When I went to that meeting, we went and we filmed the global launch event. When we went and did that, they did not tell us that the game was going global. In fact, they very clearly said this might get killed. We just want to have this stream ready in case we decide.
And
to
it was a
do
massive production too.
It was a massive production, and they didn't even show half of it.
yeah.
Like they skipped a lot. And so we were like, okay, cool. But when I got home, my interest before was school. And afterwards it was school, YouTube, right? And there was a point where it crossed where I was like, I don't want to, like, I just was very uninterested in school. And that is actually the first time that I like failed an exam in like my life. Right. Because I was very studious. Also, I was just like things naturally made sense with me. I kind of had this, which is funny because when I was homeschooled, my parents didn't actually give me a good education. It was actually a pretty poor education.
Thanks, Mom.
Shots fired.
I don't know what 6 + 6 is, so that's thanks to you,
Must
Mom.
be 69.
I missed a lot of stuff like geography. I never took any geography. I didn't know where the states were or anything like that
Neither-
when I went into
Ray
high
still
school.
doesn't.
Well, that's fair. But like, I missed a lot of that stuff.
Ray.
But I
I don't know what he said.
I could just hear him yelling in the background.
yeah, so I actually came into high school kind of like unprepared, but I had a sharp mind. And so it was funny because I did my first year at high school. And then what I did is I went back and I did all the honors program or courses in my sophomore year with all the freshmen.
Oh,
But
I
would
was
say
behind.
You had a sharp mind because like all the extracurricular activities you did and like logic
I did a
process
lot of
with
stuff,
like
yeah.
even piano develops the way you think about things.
We were criticizing your
We were
inability
criticizing-
to do geography. Ray was about to come and defend himself, and then he just turned right back around.
No, that's fair.
That's right. Yeah, so I did like all the honor stuff because I was behind, so I did it with all the younger group, and so I like caught on to a lot of stuff pretty quickly in high school and stuff like that. But anyway, that was the first time that I had ever failed an exam, was when I was back in my doctorate program, because I worked really hard in college. College wasn't necessarily easy, but I did get A's. I graduated with like a 3.86, taking like chemistry
Whoa,
and
relax.
a lot of
C's
high
get
level
degrees,
That's what I'm
KT.
yeah, not
saying.
when you're trying to go to a doctorate program that only accepts 38 students out of thousands of applicants.
Oh,
Right. Like
Wow.
it was not an easy program to get into. And I was trying to get in as an out of state applicant as well. So it was even more difficult. And anyway, so it was hard, but that was the first time that I failed an exam, and I didn't fail it because I wasn't smart. I failed it because I didn't try enough. I was focusing on making YouTube videos, and I was spending my time staying up late working on YouTube videos. I'd be up until like 4 a.m. working on a YouTube video. I'd go to sleep, wake up at 6 the next day or that day, right? And then go and take a class and like not retain very much and be thinking about YouTube all day because it was no longer my passion.
yeah.
Right?
With YouTube, it's constantly thinking about like
There's
different things.
so
And
much to think about.
I didn't realize that I have such I have a slightly creative mind, I guess, where even today on the way back from dinner, I'm thinking at like 10 p.m. Oh, I want to film a video in Home Depot, and I showed you guys
Yeah.
the idea that might
Yeah.
be pretty interesting. We'll see how that goes. It's like a double-edged sword, though.
Because you're always thinking about it and you can't think about anything else
Yeah, because I'm
sometimes.
so obsessed about it. And
Yeah.
like, it's my passion, but it's also my brain
Yeah.
can't shut off sometimes, and that like leads to
And that was exactly what was happening with me at school. My interest was going down and in school, and my interest in YouTube was just going up, and I was always thinking about it. What happened was I finished my first year. The first year of physical therapy school, at least for my program, is the hardest year. That's when you do all of your dissections on cadavers. That's when you do all the memorizing of all the muscles, every single muscle in your body. At one point, I knew all the attachments. There are 2 attachments on every single muscle, on every single body, on the bone, where the bone is, the process of the bone, and all of that. I knew all of it at one point because that first year is just so intense. And I finished my first year. I went and I did my my first internship. And after my internship, there was a 1-month break between my internship and when school was going to start again. In that 1 month, we went to Finland, you and I and Trickshot, and they told us we were the first 3 people outside of Supercell that knew that Brawl Stars was going to go global. And when I came back, I had 1 month to give YouTube my shot before school was going to start up again. And it was like a ton of weight was lifted off my shoulders because I didn't have to think about school or any of that. I just worked on YouTube, and I got that taste of what it would be like to be a full-time YouTuber for 1 month. And then it was so awesome. It was like relieving. It was exciting. Every single morning I woke up and was just like thrilled to be doing it. And then I went back to school for my second year, and it was like, boom.
Soul crushing.
Depression. It was soul crushing. And it was like, I used to be right up at the front, excited to learn everything. I was in the back of the class wishing I wasn't there. And so what happened, and at this point, I knew Brawl Stars was going to go global.
Is this the program where they only accepted 38?
Exactly. 38 out of thousands of applicants, right?
Wow. Yeah.
And like, it's a big thing to just drop out, right?
God,
And
that was a swing and a miss for them on you, man.
it was unfortunate. Yeah, they lost a lot of money for me. I paid $60,000 in that first year of school, and I was going to do another 3 or another 2. It was a lot of money for that education, and I wasn't into it.
Yeah.
And so I just like came back that first week, and I was just it was, I wouldn't say I was depressed, but it was just like there was this massive weight on me again, and it was actually really nice. I spoke to one of my fellow classmates, and she was so encouraging. She was so like, just ask them if you can take a year off. This sounds like you got a really cool opportunity, And I thought that like my other classmates were going to be like very like, dude, you're in this with us. Like you got to stick it because like I'm sticking with it. Like you can do this.
I know what
like,
her motive
this is
was.
important.
We got to get this nerd out of here and lower the bell curve.
Right.
I wasn't doing good. I wasn't doing well in the classes. Like and you know, it's funny because people knew that. They knew that I wasn't doing well. But they could also tell that I was very bright, you know, because I was smart and quick about it. But she was really supportive about like, just try it, give it a shot. And it was a really great conversation that I had with her. And, you know, I don't think that she even really is ever going to remember that conversation that she had with me. I really don't. But like, it's funny that can happen. You can have a conversation with like somebody and then never speak to them ever again. Because that day, what happened? I went to the dean and I said, hey, can you give me a year leave of absence? And maybe I'll come back, maybe I won't. And he was like, yeah, that sounds great. And I was like, and I never spoke to that girl again.
The smallest things can mean a lot. You probably don't even think about this, but that one time we were in Finland, surprise, surprise, we're in Finland like 5 times a year, but we're going up the elevator with just you and me.
Yeah.
And you could tell something was a little off in my mind. And then I was like, you okay? You asked me, are you okay? And then I said, oh, there's a lot on my mind, some relationship stuff. This was like 1 a.m.
It was late.
It was very late.
And we had an early day the next day
Yeah,
too.
and we had to wake up at 9 a.m. because call time was, or we had to wake up at 8 because call time was 9, and we had to get breakfast and everything. So it was 1 a.m. And that right as my door opened, you just looked at me, hey, do you want to come in my room and just talk about it?
Yeah.
So then I came to your room and we talked for a full hour about like relationship stuff and everything. And that was very nice of you to do that. And it was it made a profound impact for my perspective on everything. So
Yeah.
I remember the night very clearly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just these small one-off conversations that can alter the whole course.
And the next day, OJ's Bay got dumped.
Referring to your podcast when you jump kicked that kid.
Hey, he deserved it.
Oh, that's great.
You jump kick a kid and you get dumped for it.
Yeah.
To be clear, I was a kid at the time as well.
You guys have got to listen to it. It's a great
Make
story.
sure you just saying over here, OJ's like, you're jump kicking a kid. And I mean, I was a kid then as well. I wasn't like yesterday I jump kicked the kid.
And he pinched your girlfriend's butt, so he deserved it.
He did.
Yes, that guy. I did that leave of absence and I dropped out of my program and I didn't have to pay for that semester, which was really nice. Because it was within the first week.
Jump kicking a child in his size.
That's what I'm saying. The way you said that, you just now process what I said. Yeah, because you were saying you jump kicked the kid, and all in my mind, I'm thinking me.
Lex is like, I have to defend
some
myself.
random
I am
little
not a
kid, I'm
kid
over here
kicker.
just jump kicking
Some
him.
7-year-old kid at an aisle in
that's
Target and just
funny.
rushing to him.
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I just find it funny that it was like the delayed reaction that you got it.
Well, I had the visual in my head.
I was like going back to serious talk, and then oh, that's great. But yeah, that's what happened. Went on my leave of absence, and then I had 3 months to prepare for Brawl Stars going global. And so what I did during that time, that first month, actually, all I did for that first month. This was super stressful to my wife because she was like, by the way, she was very supportive. She was really on board with it. She could tell that I was really unhappy and just like, she was really great about it, which I mean, it kind of seems ridiculous because we were on food stamps at the time. We were living in government subsidized housing. We did have some savings so that we could like live for like 6 months. If everything just fell to pieces, then I could like just go get a job somewhere until I've rejoined school or something like that. I had those first 3 months to start doing YouTube. And that first month, I didn't even make a single video. All I did was just study YouTube. So what I would do every single day is I would go and open up an incognito browser so that my cookies and everything were cleared.
Yeah,
and,
I do that every
and
day.
And YouTube didn't have any search history
YouTube.
for what I had.
Yeah.
So that I would see what was being recommended on YouTube that day. And I just wrote a ton of notes on thumbnails, titles, ideas, and I just wrote down a bunch of different stuff because I literally left my doctorate program. I was going to treat YouTube exactly how I had treated all of my studies beforehand. And I came up with all these video ideas and I tried to release the most banger, like viral content that I could within those 3 months when I was getting no views so that when Brawl Stars went global, my hope was that I would like catch some viewership. That's exactly what happened. I went from 50,000 subscribers before Brawl Stars went global to 1 month after 150,000 subscribers. I gained 100,000 subscribers in a month. And the next month I gained another 100,000 subscribers. And I was at 250. And then at that point, I kind of like slowed down a little bit, at least for subscriber count, but like viewership just continued to go up. I was like, it was crazy what the change was because I was able to do that. And I remember talking a lot with Lex because Lex unfortunately was not able to make that type of jump that I had because, you know, I mean, maybe unfortunate's not the right word because like the reason why you were not able to is because of your family and you love your family and you love supporting them. And it was just not in the cards at the time. So it wasn't
I don't drop kick them.
You don't drop kick them. Good. You shouldn't, just to be clear. And so, but I remember having conversations with you about it and like, it took a little bit longer, but eventually you were able to do that full time too. And it was really satisfying and freeing and also stressful.
Still is.
Because I remember oh man, there was a video that OJ released and it was some sort of an exploit. OJ released this video on this exploit to like big game or boss hunt or something like that.
Insane 16 or something.
Insane 16, exactly. And I had released the exact same strategy 6 hours before OJ released it. And as soon as OJ released his videos, all of a sudden my comment section got flooded with, "You stole OJ's video."
But you released it first.
I released it first. And everybody was accusing me because guess what? You were already established. I was smaller. So every video that OJ released, every video that Ben released, every video that Chief Pat released was no longer a video I could do because it would not do well. And so like it was stressful to come up with ideas when I wouldn't say that I was competing with other YouTubers, but I had to beat them to that idea.
And to be clear, we're all filming the day prior, so we had no idea we even knew it.
We didn't even know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
We didn't
literally.
know that. I didn't even know that. You didn't know that I knew.
Exactly. We didn't know. I didn't know that OJ was going to release that same video, but it was interesting. And all like my video was trending 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10. It was like my best video. And then as soon as you released yours, it was just went stagnant, completely stagnant.
What?
Yeah. Because like, and that's just how things work. And the thing is on YouTube is that it's not like a zero sum game. It's not like there's a winner and a loser. It's kind of like when the water rises, all boats float, right? Like everybody kind of gains.
There's still bigger winners than others.
When people are creating good content that doesn't compete against each other. Our channels don't compete against each other, but we have videos that do compete against each other. For example, update content. People only watch 1 or 2 people on their update content. Typically, they don't watch all 10 of us, right? So they pick their favorites and they watch that. But there's no limit to the number of ideas that we can do for videos. And so that's where competition is not competition. Like today, you had a video that was released 1 out of 10 and it just did phenomenal. As soon as I saw the video and the thumbnail and the title and everything like that, I was like, that's going to do fantastic. And on like a little bit, I was like, I wish I would have thought of that. But I'm excited that you released that video that did so well because it has more people watching Brawl Stars content so that when I release a completely different Brawl Stars video, it's more likely that my video
your stuff will be in the recommended on the sidebar.
Exactly. And so like it's
an ecosystem.
It is an
he grows.
ecosystem.
And also, even if you did use the same idea that Lex did, you both have such a different creative vision. I would love to watch both of them separately.
That's true, especially opinion content.
Yeah.
Like if
the way you would edit it is completely different and the storytelling is just it'd be a completely different video.
Yeah, it's fun.
There would be less "that's what she said" jokes in Kairos' video.
There would be. Yes.
There was only one in this video. I only slipped one in there.
I have a specific sister-in-law who is very protective of what her kids will watch on YouTube. And she is thankful that she will allow her kids to watch content on my channel. And I have had multiple parents come to me and say, thank you for creating content that my kids can watch. And so that's why I choose to do that because like in person, I'm a generally family-friendly guy in general, right? Like honestly, like I don't swear outside of YouTube and stuff like that. Like I'm pretty much who I am, but it's nice to like have that for myself. Well, I don't know. I like that. But at the same time, there are people that, you know, we do have to be careful about what we say on YouTube because there's sponsors that will not sponsor you if you say something racy 3 years ago when you weren't even doing.
My general rule for anything that I say on my channel is that if I wouldn't say it in front of my kids,
Yeah.
then I won't. I'm not going to say it on my channel. And
Yeah.
I say those kind of jokes at home.
You
as
do
well.
say a lot of
So
this. You do.
I'm being real. I have no problems. And I usually, if I say those jokes, my kids are like, "Dad, you're so stupid." I'm like, I know.
That's a good
Yeah.
rule to follow by.
Yeah.
It's a good idea to have somebody in mind, I think, when you're creating content and just be like, you know what? And you know what? I'm super good with people having like racy content out there. I watch a lot of channels where people are, you know, dropping F-bombs and swearing up a storm and talking about all sorts of stuff. And like, I really enjoy certain types of content like that, you know, and like there's stuff that I enjoy, even though I don't speak like that or share like that. Or, I mean, I do have my dirty jokes. I share a lot of dirty jokes with my wife, but
not to mean
No, I've had. He's told me some before.
we've had some,
a couple. There's a couple.
Yeah.
And every time you pop up with it, I just
You
respond
seem
with
to
a Lex
always-
emoji.
Yeah. we've had some good jokes. Yeah. But
YouTube is a beast. We're always like,
It's hard.
We'll wake up and we'll watch YouTube, not purely to enjoy it, but also to learn from others and take inspiration from other genres and to see what we can do in our content. Sometimes I'll just look at cooking shows and I'll like, oh, that was a really cool J cut that they did there. Or,
Yeah.
oh, Dude Perfect did this and they finished off the video without any stakes. You don't need to give away money to have a successful video.
Yeah, I've really been a lot recently paying attention to background music and how television series, especially like reality TV shows, use background music and when they don't. And so that's been interesting to me.
Oh, I know
So-
why you're listening to that. Because
Yes.
of that one
Yes.
special series
There's
that
a
we don't
video.
know is out or not yet.
I've been telling people that I'm working on a really massive project and they just got to wait
Can we talk
for
about
it.
the title?
No,
Okay.
sorry.
Well,
but it's
you're gonna have
exciting.
to subscribe to Kairos, and you'll never know if it was out or it wasn't.
It's good though. It's good. These guys were in
You've
it.
been working on it for half a year now.
It's been a long time.
Did you watch anyone growing up on YouTube? That's a weird question because YouTube wasn't around when we were growing up.
I watched Charlie Bit My Finger
That was more of a Newgrounds thing.
and
That was before YouTube.
Charlie the Unicorn. Charlie.
I know the Charlie bit my finger thing.
Yeah.
But-
YouTube wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing. I guess my first YouTube video actually was of me mountain biking when I was in high school. And it was funny because it was me and my friend. And today we're actually still really good friends. We play a lot of old school RuneScape together. We went to the top of this mountain and we filmed me going down the mountain to a song from, I think was it Avenged Sevenfold? It might have been Avenged Sevenfold. Lost Prophets is what it was from. It was, anyways, it's not that important. I like music. That's another thing we haven't really talked about. I like music. It was me mountain biking, but in order for us to film it, we had to film a section and then go back up, set the camera, and then film the next section and go up. And it took all day, this 4-minute video of me going down this mountain, hitting jumps and stuff like that. And I did it with my shirt off because I was a teenager and I thought I was cool, you know, with my, I don't have an impressive body with my shirt off.
6-pack.
I do have a 6-pack. That's right. Mostly because of the lack of fat, not because it's but it is defined. I've got a defined, 6-pack. But like it took all day. And the video is me progressively getting more and more sunburnt.
Over 4 minutes. So here's just a time lapse
Yeah.
of you getting sunburned.
4 minutes, I start out completely white. And by the end of the video, I'm beet red.
That's pretty funny.
And I don't know where the video is, but it's somewhere out there. And maybe I could find it someday. I don't know. That'd be an
Good
interesting one.
Do you have any restrictions on what your daughters can or can't watch on YouTube?
Yeah, we don't let them watch too much YouTube. The thing that is hard with YouTube for kids is that I don't know what their next recommended video is going to be. And like YouTube Kids kind of helps with that a little
I don't
bit.
know. I've seen some freaky recommendations.
It
on YouTube
helps
Kids.
a bit with
People
it.
like plant weird things in there
Yeah.
on purpose.
And so I'm actually really hesitant, but my kids are 7 and 4. That's really young, I feel like. And so it's just really hard for me because like, especially because I'm not going to like make a specific YouTube channel for them to watch stuff, at least not right now. Maybe I should, I don't know. But that means that like they could get recommended one of my videos and, I watch some stuff that I would not want my kids to watch, right? At least not till earlier or later in life, right? And so I'm really hesitant.
Are there any specific YouTubers that are on the whitelist? Because I know a lot of parents do that where it's like, oh, you can watch Kairos.
I just haven't gotten into that yet. We are mostly onto like, kid shows. Honestly, like I remember watching like Dexter's Lab and Powerpuff Girls as a kid. I don't know. You guys either watch those?
No.
Anyway,
Watched a lot of Powerpuff Girls, My Little Pony.
yeah. My girls recently discovered Powerpuff Girls on Netflix, and I can't tell you how excited I was to hear that theme song. I didn't choose it for them. They were just like on Netflix, and they went, and all of a sudden I hear dun 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 dun.
Who's your favorite Powerpuff Girl? Blossom, Buttercup,
or Bubbles.
which one?
The green one.
I think that's Buttercup. I think Blossom for me.
Blossom. It's got to be Blossom.
Blossom,
OJ.
man.
It's got to be Blossom.
Yeah.
Blossom's the red one.
But I come out and I see them watching it, and I was like, "You guys are watching Powerpuff Girls?" And they were like, "You know this show?" And I was like, "Yeah, I watched this as a kid." And they were like, "Oh, cool." And I was like,
Or were they like, oh, that's not cool anymore. We
"No,
don't
they,
want to watch
they
it
were
anymore.
cool with it."
But how is that possible, Dad? They had TVs back when you were a kid?
Oh, dude.
Do your kids do that to you?
Yes.
My
I'm like, shut up.
Do they do that unironically though?
No. They usually do it ironically,
That's
just to
funny.
screw with me.
I was so proud and so excited to see them watching a show that I was watching, because right now they're watching, stuff that is like really fast attention span, where like you're going fast and fast and fast. And it's like, I was excited to see them watch that. Powerpuff Girls is fun. Which, another interesting topic, I hate playing video games with my daughters.
Is it
It's
because
frustrating.
you're very competitive and
No.
it's hard for you to hold back?
No, watching them
No.
try to struggle to do something, that drives me crazy. So I just want to do it for you.
That's kind of hard. But honestly, I love playing with them, and I really my daughter wants me to play Minecraft with her. I hate Minecraft. It's just not my game.
You're wrong.
That's fair. I understand that I'm in the minority for it. I recognize that I said that, and I just offended tons of people, and I am now getting my subscriber count is going
No,
down.
this subscriber count, peeling the orange, is going down.
Everybody's unsubscribing. They don't want to hear from it. But I just don't
Minecraft
like
hate
it.
on your channel, OJ? Unsubscribe.
It's just hard because I thought that I would love playing all video games with them, but they want to play games that are just not really that fun for me. You know what I mean? And that's hard because I want to, but also when I do want to play a game with that I really enjoy, it's really difficult and hard because, my 7-year-old is now starting to learn how to read, but my 4-year-old doesn't know how to read. So they actually like playing RuneScape with me, and it's really cute and really fun. But it's literally, instead of me playing, it's me going back and forth, telling them what to do and how to do it. And it's just me running back and forth, and I'm not actually playing and stuff. But eventually it will get better, and I'm really looking forward to that. But I don't know, how do you feel about playing video games with your kids?
Honestly, not very many of my kids play a bunch of video games.
So what about Sawyer then? Because I know he does.
Yeah, he plays Call of Duty and that sort of
Yeah.
stuff, and I'm trash at those games, but I still play it. We'll play Call of Duty, and I will talk a lot of smack. I'm gonna kick his butt.
Yeah.
And of course, he always destroys me.
Yeah.
Literally, because he's really good at those kind of games.
Yeah.
But he played Brawl for a while, and he was
did.
actually here recently before the most recent update. He was actually really into Clash Royale quite
yeah.
a bit, and so that was a big thing for him for a while. He actually kind of rage quit that one because he couldn't beat me.
Clash Royale is rage inducing.
Well, he just kept trying to beat me, and he couldn't beat me,
Yeah.
and I would not go easy on him.
Can we talk about the time we beat OJ?
Oh, dude,
No, can we not talk about that?
we have a belt to prove it.
Oh, this is so great. And we've probably told this before, but we're doing this mobile game. YouTube put on this show for mobile gamers and mobile gaming content creators, right?
No, it's a stupid show.
It was fantastic.
It was great.
So it was Lex and I were the Brawl Stars content creators. There were some Call of Duty mobile content creators.
Who was? I forget who it was.
Or it was PUBG Mobile is what it was.
Winsanity was even one of them?
I don't remember. It was I don't remember, but it was 2 PUBG Mobile content creators, and then there was 2 Clash Royale content creators. And were there Clash of Clans?
No.
2 Clash Royale content creators, OJ and Clash with Ash. And the idea is that we play each other's games, and we get points based off of how well we do. And Lex and I are obviously on a team, and they're on a team. And the idea was who is the ultimate mobile gaming team, right? And so you want to beat each other at their games. And the idea is, you're not going to. You're going to beat each other, or beat them at your own games. And then the idea is, how good can you beat the other people that don't play those other games? That's confusing. But there's 3 games. Anyway, you get the idea. So we get to Brawl Stars. Obviously, Lex and I win because at the time, you guys actually hadn't been. Well, you also had Clash with Ash, who did not play Brawl Stars.
No, he didn't.
You're actually very good at Brawl Stars. In fact, you're probably better at it than I am right now.
I don't know about that right now. I'm really rusty.
Are ya?
If I stop playing for a week, I lose a month of skill.
Oh, it's hard. It is hard. Yeah, I feel that. Either way, you had Clash with Ash. There was no chance you were going to beat Lex and I, right? In Brawl Stars.
Yeah.
Because Clash with Ash just doesn't play it. And that's totally fair. That's
I think
fine.
it was,
Whatever.
Was it duos?
Yeah, we did Duo Showdown is
duos.
what it was.
Yeah.
So there was just no chance you guys were going to beat us because you had to carry him. And so then all 4 of us did terrible in PUBG.
Oh yeah, we got destroyed by
it
those
was
guys.
so bad. So
it was
bad.
literally awful.
Bots were killing me.
So it came down to us and you guys in Clash Royale. And we were doing duos or duels or what?
2v2.
We were doing 2v2. And Lex and I, we come over to each other like, dude, if we 3 crown them, we get enough points for us to win this whole thing. Let's come up with like a serious 3 crown deck. Something that you guys clearly were not planning on. And it wasn't even close. Like we just placed our troops and we just ran right to the towers and just obliterated 3 crowned 2 games right in a row. There was nothing you could do. It was fantastic.
It was great, and we were the mobile gaming champions.
And we won a belt.
No,
A massive
that's not
wrestling
fair
belt.
because Ash doesn't play Brawl Stars.
But we weren't.
you guys-
we
But
weren't
we beat
Clash,
you in
you
Clash
were
Royale.
not Clash Royale
You
creators,
both
OJ.
play- Yeah, you both started your channels in Clash Royale.
That's just yeah.
But we hadn't played Clash Royale in months.
No, that's not true
Says
for
one
me.
of the best bridge spam
Oh,
players
that's
in the
true.
world.
I
That's true.
was
I am-
still playing Clash Royale.
I'm
then.
pretty good at
2v2 was your primary mode, and you're one of the
did,
best
yeah,
bridge
yeah.
spam players in the world.
I wasn't one of the best. I was just
At
one
the
of the
time-
first to be the best. I was
Yeah.
I was
One
the
of-
first. I consider myself to be the inventor of bridge spam because I did it before it was popular.
You were, I wouldn't say the inventor, but the father of bridge spam.
I was the father. Well, I don't know. Nobody was playing it. It wasn't popular when I came up with it.
So then, who were the kids of Bridge Spam? I don't know who they are. I just want to drop kick them.
And that's the end of our video.
This is peeling the orange.
Don't drop kick kids.